If you're like most local businesses, whether you're a realtor, bookkeeper, law firm, or any type of service provider, you probably spend thousands on marketing agencies, lead generation services that promise you big results. You probably tried everything from Facebook ads to Google ads to hiring an agency, and you've only been left with nothing but wasted ad spend and a few unqualified leads. Does that sound familiar to you? So at Pure Growth Media, we've created a service called Lead Genius. And with Lead Genius, it's specifically designed to fix the mistakes that other services make and finally get you the results you've been promised. We're Pure Growth Media, and with this new service, we want to be able to help out small businesses, local businesses, realtors, bookkeepers, law firms, and things like that to be able to help them generate leads, right? And so we've been in business for since 2017, so about 7 years now, and we've been able to generate over $4 million in revenue this past year for our clients alone. And each month, we're generating 100 leads per client per month to be able to help them grow their business and scale them with the service. And so we specialize in paid social and lead generation. But besides us, we've been able to work with a bunch of different clients, from real estate agents to brokerages to law firms to roofing companies to schools to nonprofits. Anybody that needs leads, we've been able to run through this service. And the biggest problem that we see with a lot of the potential clients that come to us and the clients that have came to us is that they face a lot of the same problems, which is they're spending too much time chasing leads and investing in marketing strategies that don't deliver. And the truth is, most businesses waste their money on marketing because they're missing key elements in their campaign. And so you need a optimized system that does more than just get you leads, right? You need it to turn your leads into paying clients. And so here are some case studies to be able to make sure that we know what we're talking about and can demonstrate that we actually drive the results for our clients. So me and Natalia was a realtor that we worked with, and she came to us because she wanted to enhance her lead generation process. She didn't really have the biggest budget either, but her aim was not only to just increase the number of leads, but she wanted to improve the lead quality, and making sure that that would also help her optimize her conversion rates, right? And so to enhance the lead generation process for her, and by working with our lead genius service, we were able to drive her the results of 124 leads in less than 2 months. Cost per lead about $5 per lead, which is really low compared to the average in the real estate agent industry, which is typically between 12 to 15 bucks. And she signed on about 15 leads, and she closed two deals, making more than her money back within less than 2 months. We had another client that was a brokerage. The client wanted to go to brand awareness, and so the client reached out to us, and so we helped them increase their reach on Facebook by 407%, a million impressions, and they were able to double their real estate roster by working with us for a year, and they were able to get 48 new realtor leads once we started running them through the Lead Genius service in less than 3 months, which was huge for them. And then Joshua, which is another realtor that we worked with, they were able to generate more leads they wanted to generate more leads for the real estate business, and they needed a proven process, and they had a small budget as well. And so they generated over 66 leads in less than a month, with a cost per lead of $4.58 and 6 booked appointments so far. And that's only been a month of working with them. So I wanted to be able to share, how soon you can get results with this service. And the biggest thing that a lot of our clients have been able to do well, that do work with us, and the biggest thing that we think is important at the very beginning is making sure that we can generate interest. And the foundation of any successful campaign is knowing your audience, right? And so we start by identifying exactly who your ideal customers are and what they're looking for, and then you do that by understanding who your audience is, right? So we look at their age, look at their location, we look at what stage of life are they in, right? Like let's say you're a realtor working with a first time home buyer. Are you looking to work with people that are newlyweds, are single bachelor? Are you looking to work with a real estate investor, and things like that, right? Like those type of things all matter. And then if we look at goals, obviously their goals are to buy a home, but what type of home? Where is the home going to be located? Where do they want to move? What type of clients do you want to work with? And what areas do you want them? Do you want to work in? And because you know that area better, right? And what type of people usually move to those areas, and what do they care about when they do move to those areas, and what are some things that stick out in those areas that you can help demonstrate to that audience, right? So those little like details and intricacies, those all matter to be able to get your messaging across in the right ways, right? And then this allows us to be able to create highly targeted ads because we know exactly who we're going after, right? We know exactly what they care about, and then we can create ads that speak directly to these pain points of this audience because we know what the pain points are. We and you as the expert should be able to address those pain points with your services and your expertise, right? And this also allows us to be able to ensure that we attract the right leads because we know who we want to go after. We know what a good quality lead looks like. We know what they have to be able to make sure that we get the deal that we want when working with them, and also they get the deal that they want when working with us too, right? And so understanding who your audience is important, and then understanding what problems they face, right? So let's say like you're working with a first time home buyer. What are some problems that they face, right? They face affordability, they face saving for a down payment, they face finding a suitable home. They may not want to buy homes in this current market because they aren't fit to their taste or whatever that might be, right? And they may not be able to have the funds to be able to buy a home for the first time, right? And it may be really overwhelming. And so, what solution can you provide as the expert to be able to combat all of those pain points? And so, we work with you guys to be able to make sure that we can get that messaging across. But obviously, once we understand the solutions to a lot of these pain points, we then put together a strong offer to be able to make sure that what we are advertising, what we're putting out there to attract the right leads, actually speaks to them in the right ways that will solve their pain points, right? And so here's some example of some strong offers. Number one, obviously, if you're a realtor, a great listing is going to generate leads, of course. Being reputable and known is going to help you be able to generate leads without you having to do too much. If you have a bunch of reviews on Google and Facebook, of course, that's going to allow you to be able to be on top of the searches, and that's going to allow you to be able to generate more leads. And, if you're the only service in your area, of course, you're going to generate leads because you're the only person that does that. But not everybody has those luxuries, right? And so, here are some examples of a strong offer for people that don't have those luxuries. And so here locally in Minnesota, right now we have a first generation home buyer program, which people that don't have anybody in their family that has owned a home before can get up to $93,000 in down payment assistance, which is huge to be able to put towards their home, right? And then, so if someone was an expert at that, like a realtor of some sorts, they can then kind of shed light on that program, and that will be able to help people that didn't know about that program, that are looking to buy a home, that are struggling with down payment and figuring out how they're going to be able to afford a home. That can help them be able to create that conversation so that they can close in on that client potentially. And then a limited time offer for retail business, of course, if you're a retail business that has, something of value or something that, a lot of people may want, having limited time offer on those type of things can definitely drive more traffic into your business and generate more leads, especially if you have a service, right? And then discounted service for home improvement as well. Being able to generate leads because of your discounted services, to then get them into to become a loyal customer for the long term is something that is going to be able to help you drive more leads to your business. And so now that you know who your audience is, now that you know what the pain points are and how you're going to solve them, and you have a strong offer, the next step is making sure that you can get it out in the right ways. And so we like to rely on a predictable and useful way of doing that, and Meta and Instagram ads are a very predictable way to be able to generate interest and also reach the people that we want to be able to reach. And so we utilize Meta Instagram ads for that purposes. You can utilize any other ones, but we really like using Meta Instagram ads. And then the creative part is the most important. Your creative is going to be the most, or is going to be the variable of success of your campaigns, because if your messaging and those type of things and the way that looks doesn't intrigue people, or doesn't really get the point across, or doesn't really hone in on the actual problem that these people face, to feel like they are being talked to one on one, then it's going to be it's not going to really work in the ways that you want it to. So your creative is very important. And so here are some examples. With Mina Tao, she was using the rent to own program. And so people in this program or that were interested in this program were people that were renters, didn't have a home yet, but wanted to own a home, but didn't have down payment ready for that. And so we said, don't let the down payment stop you from owning your home that you want, your dream home. If you can't swing 20% down, you can still own a home through this rent to own program. Here's how you can. And then in the second graphic here, we said approve for the rent to own program. And this allows people to understand like this is real. This is something that people are actually doing, and that gives her social proof that she can get the job done for them, and people can own the dream home. And then lastly, of course, rent your future dream home, right? I think that was super important to be able to get across, because if they can rent it, and if the rent that they're paying goes to the equity of the home, that makes a lot of sense for these renters that feel like they want to be able to own a home soon enough. And then, like I was telling you guys earlier, we have a realtor that's using the first generation home buyer program, and so having 93,000 to be able to help go towards your down payment on your home is something that's not it shouldn't be taken lightly for first time home buyers, right? And so potentially you can get up to that much if no one in your family has owned a home before. And so we wanted to be able to make sure that people knew. And also Ramsey County is a place that a lot of people want to move to, and where this program resides as well. And so if people want to move here, then we want to be able to help them be able to do that. And we want to be able to help them do it in a way where it's cost efficient for them as well. And so those are what we wanted to focus on here with these ads. And so after you have your creative all set up, then you want to go in and set up your campaigns. And so we want to target people locally. We want to have 2 to 3 audiences that we want to target. And so let's say again, let's use the first time home buyer for um, example again, right? And so if we're targeting those type of people, you can target all the apps like Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, all that fun stuff on Facebook. So people that are already searching on those apps, that are interested in those apps, you can target people there. You can also target people that are interested in first time home buyer grants, that are interested in mortgage loans, all that fun stuff, right? And then I love putting in like a broad audience that has a local um, restriction as well, because that allows Facebook's algorithm to really figure out who is actually interested, and doesn't put any restrictions on as far as interests go. And Facebook then gets to do its magic with the data that it has. And so I really like doing that as well. And then testing 2 to 3 creatives per audience. You can test more depending on your budget size, but we suggest 2 to 3 creatives per audience. And so you're going to be running basically up to 4 to 6 ads at a time, and you want to be able to see which ones work and which ones don't work. And so that's what we suggest and what we do for our clients. And then you want to set up your automations, right? And so here's where most business fail, and that's in following up on leads. So 80% of sales require at least 5 follow-ups, and so you need an automated system that nurtures leads from the moment that they show interest. So once they start putting in their information into your Facebook ads forms, then you want something that reaches out to those people right away. Because if you miss that moment, they could then just forget about everything that they just signed up for. They could get distracted or things like that, right? And so we use a system called Go High Level. And the first thing to do there is obviously to connect your calendar. And so you can connect any of your calendars, Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, anything like that. You can connect any video conferencing programs, Zoom, Google Meet, all that fun stuff, right? And so that's going to allow you then to get to create a booking link, and then that booking link will allow those leads to be able to book some time with you. And then you want to set up your pipelines. And so each of these in this pipeline are different stages of the opportunity. And so this will be the cold, this will be the people that are warm, these are people that are not interested, these are people that we need to follow up with, that said they were interested, but they still need some nurturing, and these are people that have set appointments. And so you can even do more than that. This is just an example, but having these all kind of built out will then lead to the next step, which is the workflows. And so if a lead comes in, then that goes it back into the opportunities, and that's going to allow us to understand which stage you're in. But having these workflows will allow us to understand, how, what stage these leads are in. And like for example, number one is the new leads flow. So if they come in through a Facebook form, then they go here, and in this, um, basically they will then get assigned to the user. They'll be created an opportunity for them. We'll add a tag that they're from a Facebook lead, and then we'll send out an email right away, right when they submit their information, and that will just say, hey, we saw that you submitted your information. Here's a link to book some time with us to chat more about this offer. And then we send an internal notification, and then we have 5 more follow-up emails. If they don't book, and if they do book, then the automation stops here and it moves them into the next one, which is the appointment confirmation and reminders. And so this allows us to be able to understand if they actually book an appointment, right? And so we remove them from the new lead workflow. We update the opportunity, and then we send them a confirmation email. And then 24 hours before the appointment, they get sent another email, and then 1 hour before they get sent another email, and then 10 minutes before the appointment, they get sent an email. That's to ensure that they actually show up to the bookings, because and the part of the game is there's going to be some no shows, there's going to be some ghosting, and so we want to be able to make sure that they get reminded that they have an appointment with us, so we're not wasting our time waiting. And then if someone does no show, then we change them in the pipeline to be able to move into the no show pipeline or no show opportunity section. And then we update the opportunity. We send an internal notification to our team. We add a no show tag to them. And we send them a follow up link letting them know, like, hey, you booked some time with us. It looks like you weren't able to show up. And that's fine. So people get distracted and things like that. Life happens, but you can always book again here with us if you're still interested in learning more about the offer. And then we'll send them 5 more different emails as well at different time periods. Like this is wait for 1 day, the other one says wait for 2 days, another 2 days, another 2 days, and things like that. And then if they get to the point where they're not really responding at all to anything, then we move them to the stale lead stage. And so like for 7 days they submit their information, but they haven't really gotten back to us, then we move them here. Or if they gone in no show and then they haven't gotten back to us in a while, then they move into the stale leads pile. And so after 2 weeks of them, not responding or anything like that, then we move them here and we let them know like, hey, you submitted your information about 2 weeks ago about this offer. If you're still interested, we're here. We're here to help you. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to book an appointment with us, and we want to be able to make sure that we can get you taken care of, and that you can take advantage of this offer as soon as possible. And we'll send them, 4 to 5 emails over a couple days and a couple weeks. So after that, we usually let them go after that, and because after like a month and a half of reaching out, then it kind of they've obviously aren't interested, right? And then we can have flows that are longer term nurture that are 3 months, 6 months as well, that we can follow up as well with them later. But the other thing is also reputation management as well, right? And so if someone does book, we want to be able to make sure, and if they actually go through the service, we want to be able to make sure that they can leave a review for us. And so if we move the opportunity to one and they actually gone through the service, then we move them from the previous workflows and we send them a review request through email. We send them a text, hey, hope you enjoy your service, or I hope you enjoy the offer. We would really appreciate a review, right? And so we send those out, and then we'll wait 3 days. And if they don't, then we send them emails and text messages for about 4 to 5 more times to be able to make sure we get that review. And if we don't, then that's okay. And there's also a way to make sure that any negative reviews that do come in, that we can control that as well, to make sure that if they use a link that we sent them to leave a review, that we can make sure that if it's a negative review, we can control if that actually gets put onto our Google and our Facebook profiles. And then you'll launch a campaign, right? Because you have everything built out on the back end. You have the foundational pieces. And then if a lead comes in, you know exactly what's going to happen to them. And then we'll launch the campaigns once we feel confident that everything is built out in the right way. And then no lead will slip through the cracks. And then we optimize those campaigns, right? And so most agencies you've probably used before, set up your campaigns and forget about them. But that's wrong and will waste your ad spend. And so once your campaigns are live, it's crucial to keep your eyes on them each and every day, to be able to make sure that we're not wasting our hard-earned dollars. and that our hard-earned dollars are working for us, right? And so continually monitor and optimize your campaigns and your ads to be able to ensure that it's generating the leads that you need. And we do that for our clients. We send a weekly report to all of our clients, and we meet bi-weekly with all of our clients to make sure that everybody is on the same page, and that everybody knows where the dollars are being spent, and everybody knows what's the focus at the time. And so tweaking variables like, audience targeting, your creative. I think creative should probably be switched out every week or so at the very least. And then messaging as well. There may be new offers. This messaging may not be as good as the other one, and so we may want to be able to tweak those things to be able to maximize our performance. And then you want to scale, right, and safely increasing your ad spend while maintaining a solid return on investment, right? So we don't want to, up our ad spend by 100% right away. We want to be able to basically, I think a good rule of thumb is about 20% at a time, slowly but surely, to be able to make sure that Facebook's algorithm can keep up with the increase and decrease as well if you ever needed to decrease. And so imagine your business thriving. Imagine your phone ringing with qualified leads. Imagine your appointments are booked solid across the board and your revenue growing month after month. So that's Lead Genius. And that's what we're doing here at Lead Genius to be able to ensure that our clients can get the appointments and continue to scale their business, right? And so the cost of our service is only $497 a month, and then $50 per appointment, per booked appointment. So, if they don't show up, we don't charge for that. But if they show up and they show out, then that's basically the further step that we can get them to. And closing is obviously going to be the business's task to be able to do. But with this investment, we offer, we manage your Instagram and meta ads. We set up your Lead Genius setup, so all the back end stuff with Go Ahead Level. We create your ads for you with graphic design services, unlimited, that you need, and we guarantee 30 booked appointments in under 90 days. And so we'll work for free until that result is achieved. And so no matter what, if you don't get 30 booked appointments in under 90 days, you're going to get 30 booked appointments no matter what with this investment. We're going to work for you tirelessly and endlessly to be able to make sure that you get your 30 booked appointments if you do trust us to be able to help you grow and scale your business. And so also as a bonus, you get the reputation management workflows and setups as well when working with us through this. And we suggest a $500 minimum advertising budget, because that's going to be able to make sure that we can get you the 30 booked appointments that you need. And so that's the investment for working with us, and we look forward to working with you. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at the email below. You can check out our website as well at puregrowth.com. We look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to working with you. We look forward to helping you be able to grow your business to levels that you want it to grow to. And we're super excited to be able to introduce this new service to be able to help many business owners to scale their business and generate the leads that they need.